Hey guys, welcome to another breakdown, and today we've got a little sneaky line defense policy that you can try with a middle and a link. It's pretty subtle. If you didn't see it, let's go back. If you did see it, you've probably ran it, and yeah, it can be actually quite sneaky. It's got some good things about it and some bad things about it. Let's talk about both. First, let's let's tell you what it is. From where I'm called, it's called a muddle. Teams that I've coached before, when we do it, we call it zone. But anyway, so let's just go through the basic shutdown defense. This middle here would make the touch. When doing that, these three guys are getting back on side. He pulls corner, which is what the short side guys do, and then it's up to these three to shut down a 4-on-3 as the dummy half angles back to the open side where the overlap is. So that's in a nutshell. If you want to know more on that, watch my video about pre and post touch. But I want you to now to pay attention to what this link does. So let's play it in slow motion and have a look what he does. They've switched. This is now, this was the link, and now it is the middle. He's come under behind here, while this guy's pulled corner to link. They've switched. Why would they do that? Well, okay. Notice how they're pretty much directly in front and behind one another. Normally, this dummy half, now this is definitely something to try. If you know one team's got a dominant link that's always trying to play a 4-on-3 and they're just trying to throw a long ball or whatever, if they've got a really dominant link out of dummy half, try this. By switching, that now all of a sudden means that it's almost like this guy's a link making the touch because he's pulling back to link, and this guy now takes the responsibility of a middle who is onside and will get to there. And if that happens, if it's the link making the touch like that, when you pick up and try to go open side, it's man on. And what the beauty of this is, you probably don't realize until now that you've picked up and they've switched, and you're just running straight into onside players. And so that's the muddle part. Those two players have muddled each other. And those are the only two players. I'd never swap two middles. I'd never swap a link and a winger. If you swap the two middles, the only reason for that is there's too many different plays between two middles that can actually easily wreck that, and you'll end up running into each other. So the only two players that I'd ever swap is link and middle for this situation, when the link is in the play the ball. And it doesn't have to be just for a 4-on-3 scoop as well. Let's have a look at another example on a rooster. So middle's coming up to make the touch. Here's his link here. And let's have a look at what they do. We'll play at full speed. Links at dummy half. They call the muddle or the zone or whatever, however you want to call it. And it's just man on. Looking back there, they've switched. And now every player for the purple team's got a player in front of them. Now, something to point out here is the rule states that once the touch is imminent, that you can move back on side. Now, if you can get your middle up very, very aggressively, they should be able to make the touch while you're back on side already, pretty much directly behind them. That way, you can see this defender here, the link, he's got a bit of ground to cover because he's just a little bit late reacting. So he should be stepping up. Everyone steps up now. And it's just going to destroy any play, especially if you're the dummy half or you're running a play and you're not expecting it. It's going to ruin your play. So it's probably not something I'd do in defense every time, because the way to beat it, we'll talk about that at the end. We'll just go through one more example. This is men's open, so it can be done in a lot of games. And in men's open, you get to understand each player, and the defenders would know that this guy is very dominant out of dummy half, playing a 4-on-3 to the open side. So what do? Notice how deep the link is. He's onside, and they switch. They muddle. And everyone else just mans up, but the ball ends up falling into that guy's hands. And it's a ripper of a chase. He ends up making the touch. But yeah, that's the switch there. It's probably the responsibility of the link to communicate this because they can see what's happening. But notice here how this link is getting back already. And there's my previous arrows from the last one. But that's the distance. He's back on side and he's ready to step forward. Now, the only way that you can really beat this, or what I would do, there is a video on Seventh Touch, actually. If you search Inside the Mind of Tony Trout, I'm going to put a link in it in the description. New Zealand, it's kind of the reverse of this. New Zealand try this defensive tactic on Australia. And what they do is they take off open side, real like an acute angle here, and then get the middle switching late because they're trying to do that man on defense. The other one here is you just what we call roll the guy playing the ball on. So he'll split hard this way, and you'll just dish him the ball like a punish, hoping that this guy's too far in and he's got too much ground to cover. And with this guy trying to man on, you might get a sneaky try at the line. So it does put you in a bit of a pickle if they do try that punish, or they do get a middle sweeping, or they do try the middle switch, anything like that. That's why I wouldn't run this every time. Time and place, yep. Run it for the first couple of times, let it work, and then just go back to normal. It will get you a couple of really satisfying shutdowns though. So that's a muddle. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to try it at social. You can definitely, because they do a lot of 32 scoops. So let me know how it goes in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Oh, subscribe. Please subscribe.